Will the UK going to abolish the 2 years post-study work visa as it has already reduced the 2 years to 18 months? So now the question is it UK going to abolish this rule? Will the UK bring back the restrictions on post-study work permits? Could the popular 2 year graduate visa be shortened more, or could it be tougher requirement to be introduced? So in today's video, we are going to discuss the concern about the hundreds and thousands of the international students and the future migrants. What does exactly means for the international student, universities, and the businesses and the British economy? So let's break down the facts and separate the rumors from the reality and discuss what happens next. What exactly the graduate visa is. For those unfamiliar, the graduate visa route was introduced in 2021. It allows international students, if you complete your masters, then you get the 2 years of graduate visa, and if you complete your PhD, then you get the 3 years of the graduate visa. Important is that there is no sponsorship requirement during this period, so you can work with any employer and any number of hours. Graduate can work, change employers, and gain experience, or search for the skilled worker visas or the jobs that eventually lead to the long-term routes. This policy was designed to make Britain more competitive against the countries like Canada and Australia, and frankly, I believe it worked. International students' numbers increased significantly and helping the university and local economies and definitely British economics. Why are people talking about the restrictions now again? So the debate hasn't disappeared. Critics argue that some students use the education primarily as a pathway into the labor market rather than academic purposes. Others point to migration statistics and the question whether post-study work rights contribute to higher net migration figures. The previous government even considered reducing the graduate visa from 2 years to 6 months. Ultimately, that proposal was never implemented, but immigration remains a political sensitive issue. So naturally, the question continues about whether further restriction could return. What does the current government say? So at the moment, graduate visa remain in place, and however the policymakers have issued, making the system more selective and better aligned with labor market needs. Potential ideas that experts often discuss includes requiring graduates to secure higher paying jobs, linking post-study works to shortage occupations, introducing regional incentives outside the London, and strengthening compliance requirements for the universities. None of these changes are currently law, but they remain part of the broader immigration discussions. Economic argument. So let's look at the reality. International students contribute billions of pounds in the UK economy every single year. They pay the international tuition fee, rent, council tax, in some circumstances, transportation cost, food, and daily living expense, consumer spending across local businesses. So many universities heavily depend on international student income. Without it, some institutions would face the serious financial challenges. Entire local economy benefit from students staying after graduation. Landlord, shops owners, transport companies, restaurants, and employers all gain from their presence. Restricting post-study work visa could therefore have the consequence far beyond immigration statistics. Global competition for the talent. Britain doesn't compete in isolation, so students have alternatives. Canada offers attractive pathways. Australia continues to recruit international talent, and Germany is expanding opportunities for skilled migrants. So United States remain powerful destination despite visa challenges. If Britain becomes less attractive, talented individual simply choose another country. Competition for the global talent is real, and once students build careers elsewhere, bringing them back in UK will become extremely difficult. The trust factor. There is another issue often receive less attention, that is trust. Students choose the universities in years advance. Family invest enormous sum of the money. Life decisions are made based on existing policies, and if a rule suddenly change or unpredictably, confidence in the system suffers. Students want the certainty, and they need to know what opportunity will exist after graduation. Frequent policy shift creates the uncertainty that can influence future applications. What happen the next? So my view that if the changes comes, they are more likely to be targeted rather than completely abolishing the post-study work rights. So possible future scenario includes, like scenario number one, keeping the 2 years route but tightening the eligibility requirement. Scenario 2, introducing salary threshold for the longer term transitions. Scenario 3, creating incentives for graduates to work in high demand sectors. Scenario 4, regional policies encouraging graduates to work outside the major cities. A complete removal of post study work rights seems less likely because of the economic impact on the universities and Britain's international competitiveness. But in politics, nothing should ever be considered impossible. So, lastly, my final thoughts: graduate visa isn't simply an immigration policy, it is an economic policy, an education policy, a talent attraction policies, and a statement about Britain wants to compete globally for the skilled people. International students are the future researchers, engineers, doctors, entrepreneurs, and taxpayers. So many go on to create businesses, fill labor shortages, and contribute honestly enormously to British society. The challenge for the policymaker is balancing the migration concern with economic realities. So now I want to hear from you. Should Britain keep its current 2 years graduate route, or should the restriction should be introduced? Or should the UK make itself even more attractive to international talent? Let me know your thoughts in the comment section, and I'll see you in the next